this is the Healthy Gains channel. I'm Jenny. This is Grace.
And that's Gianna.
That's Gianna. We're here to give you a tip on a healthy breakfast. First, we're going to start with a hot chocolate, sugar-free, dairy-free hot chocolate, so that we can sip it while we make our dairy-free, sugar-free, grain-free waffles. So,
First,
what do we have?
We have 2 cups of almond milk.
And a hot pan.
We have a 1 1/4 cup of collagen.
That's just for a little nutrient density, add a little protein. Collagen has such a little flavor to it. You can add a lot. You can add it to a lot of things without it changing its flavor too much.
We also have 1/3 cup of monk fruit.
1/3 of a cup of monk fruit. Monk fruit is our favorite substitute for table sugar. 0 calories, 0 in the glycemic index, and it has no aftertaste. It's really good. It's got about 70% of the sweetness that regular sugar has, so we always add a little bit of stevia just to heighten the sweetness. And this is 1/2 of a cup of cocoa powder.
And cocoa powder is actually really healthy for you if you did not know that.
It's true. It's got a lot of nutrient density. So we'll put just probably 3 or 4
drops.
Four drops. This stuff goes a long way. So there you have it. That's it. That's an easy recipe. We'll stir it up.
And then while we're stirring it and sipping it up, Gianna, she is going to make our waffles.
That's right. We'll be back. Okay, so I think we all agree the hot chocolate is fantastic. So now on to the waffles. Gianna's gonna facilitate the waffle making. She's an expert egg cracker. She's been cracking eggs since she was 3, so she's had a lot of practice. And
she never usually gets shells, unlike me.
You're pretty good too, but she used to get a lot of shells, but it's just a testament to the fact that practice makes perfect, because she never gets shells in. She's a pro. She's only 6. Good job, Gianna.
And she just turned 6.
That's right.
In January.
Although egg cracking is messy.
Yes, very nice. And she turned 46 in March.
You have a chocolatey face.
Well, if you don't know, if you put 4 or 2 eggs at once, don't like wipe your hands after, or else they'll get dirty again right after.
Oh, exactly. So if you have 4 eggs, don't wipe your hands in between each egg, because
or else they'll get dirty.
That's right. That's a good tip, Gianna. Yeah. Okay, so next is our monk fruit. Again, that was 1/3 of a cup. It might be a little less now, but we use monk fruit in the waffle batter because we like to sweeten it up. I like to sweeten it up so that there's no need for so much syrup. So she just also put in a teaspoon of
cinnamon.
Thank you, Grace. Keep going.
And we have some water.
That's 1/4 of a cup of water. And next is our nuts. You can grab the nuts, Gigi. So instead of flour, we used soaked nuts. And we've used seeds before, such as sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds, which also make a great combination for waffles. But in this case, we're using cashews and walnuts. That's I think 1/2 of a cup of, it's 1/2 of a cup of walnuts and 1 cup of cashews. And of course, they're
really
soaked.
good pancakes.
That's right. And of course they're soaked. If you haven't watched my video on why to soak your nuts and seeds, you should, because it's important to soak them first. And we can keep going. Now we've got blackstrap molasses. This is an optional thing. I like the taste of molasses. I like the flavor it brings to things like waffles. It just almost gives it a caramely taste to it.
But when you take it out, it will be very darker because of the color that it is. Yeah.
Oh, when we take out the waffle from the waffle maker, it will be darker. So if you have a finicky eater who doesn't like to eat things because it looks different than it normally looks, then you might want to skip it. Or, you know what, my trick to having kids eat things that they're not used to is having them make it. Because my kids always don't love what I make, but they always seem to love what they make. So sometimes it's the same recipe, you know. But they always like it better when they make it. So that's the molasses. Next we've got collagen. Again, it adds to the nutrient profile, but I actually like the way that collagen changes
the texture.
Yeah, it changes the texture in things like waffles or cookies, and it's hard to describe how exactly. It almost makes it fluffier, but I like the change. And this is oil. So the last thing is 1/2 cup of oil, and in this case we used avocado oil. Do you know why?
No.
We use avocado oil because it's a healthy oil, but in cases where you're using a high heat, which I imagine we are, there's no temperature gauge on this, but based on the sizzle that the batter makes when it hits the pan and the steam that comes out the sides, I have a feeling it's very high temperature, so you want an oil that has a high smoke point. And I know avocado oil has one of the highest, so it can withstand high heats. And that's all. We're gonna blend this up, and just to touch again on the nuts in lieu of flour, you know, you don't need to buy a flour substitute such as an almond flour or a coconut flour or any other grain-free flour if you're trying to avoid conventional flour. Nowadays, if you have a high-powered blender, that's all you need. It does the job for you. It will emulsify this as if there was a flour used instead of the nuts. Okay, so our first waffle is done, and we've got
it's very dark because of the molasses.
Yes. But that was a little taste. You gotta get a good bite. What do you think?
Okay, it's good. But it's gonna be late.
But
I'd put a little more flavor in it, like syrup.
of course you would.
Yeah, it's way too hot, but it's good.
Okay, so my vote, it's great.
10 out of 10, 10.
I don't think it needs any sugar whatsoever. I would not put syrup on this because it's just, I think the sweetness is perfect, but I will point out that the walnuts definitely, you can have a strong flavor. You can taste them in this recipe, even though I only put 1/2 cup. I love that flavor, but if you don't like a strong nutty flavor, I would stick to the sunflower seeds or pumpkin seeds.
Or just less.
Cashews or almonds.
10 out of 10, it's a 9 or 8.
Thanks. Well, it's nutritious, so we got that going for us. Give it a try and let us know what you think.
Bye. Stay healthy.
Grace,
first, you need 1/3 of a cup of monk fruits.
Monk fruit is you can go ahead and put everything in, honey.
Yeah.
So monk fruit is our favorite.
Whoa!
Oh,